everybody. The second part of the two-part season 5 premiere of Teen Wolf was profoundly disturbing and really great. Let's talk about episode 2, Parasomnia. Dum da dum 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 dum. Dread doctors, yeah. Let's talk about them. They're freaky and apparently haunting this poor innocent girl at night and creeping in her room and craziness. We start off the episode 2 of Teen Wolf season 5 with this girl in her room having night terrors, and there's the crows or ravens tapping on her skylight and opening it, and weird shit's going down. And we see the dread doctors creeping around her room and stuff. She's telling all of this to Lydia Martin's mom in a counseling session. And we're all like, okay, what? Okay, Lydia's mom's gonna be a guidance counselor now too? Okay, oh, whatever. I'll bite, whatever. Well, after she tells about all this creepy ass shit going on that she thinks is just happening in her mind, she vomits that black junk we see all the time, and feathers, black feathers. I still cannot decide if those are crows or ravens that we saw. I have a really hard time telling them apart. But anyways, this whole episode basically revolves around all the creepy stuff she sees and finding out more about Theo Rakin, because this dude, I don't trust him. I still don't trust him. He is a liar and he's gonna mess everything up. Styles knows it. We all know it. Now let's talk about this, okay? Let's talk about how things are going down. Lydia and Parrish team up. They decide to try and help this Tracy girl, the one that's having the night terrors or whatever, and try to figure out what's going on. Lydia and Parrish even go to her house and investigate the skylight. They realize it was supposedly sealed for weather and stuff because of, I guess, rain and different stuff for weatherproofing. And it wasn't sealed, and Parrish, I don't know if he saw it or not, but we saw it. When he closes, he looks up through the skylight, notices it's open and everything. He has a shocked face, but then it's not shocked enough almost, because when he closes it, we see scratches all over it on the outside and those dead birds all over, because apparently she's been eating them or something. I don't know. It's weird. But he says there's nothing out of the ordinary besides it being open. And basically Lydia and Parrish decide to have a stakeout. Well, Parrish has a stakeout and Lydia brings him coffee because I don't know. But they have a whole flirty back and forth between them, and it's very cute. But I'm still just Stydia. They'll probably have a fling, and eventually Lydia and Styles will end up together, because I still don't see Malia sticking with Styles. She seems like the type that'll be a nomad. She's gonna move from place to place once she's out of high school. She just seems like that type. What are we gonna do with this Theo guy though? And how are we gonna deal with him? Because apparently Styles doesn't understand what to do with him enough yet. And I'm just okay. Styles goes and has a background check. Parrish does it. And oh my goodness. Sheriff Stilinski is pissed. He's okay, what? I see Parrish kind of as a extension of the pack. He's not a central part of Scott's pack, but he's a part of the pack, but not fully, because he's not always with them. You don't really see him I'm wondering later in the season if he's going to be more crucial to the pack. But he finds 2 signatures for Theo's dad. One's from a speeding ticket 8 years ago, and one's for something else, for, I guess, transfer for school or something. Completely different signatures. And Styles like, oh, okay, this guy's a villain, he's bad, we can't trust him, or is that, and Malia's like, okay, my dad is Peter Hale, and my mom is the Desert Wolf. Like, and I'm not, but Styles like, but still. So, like, you really gotta trust Styles and his intuition and how he thinks, because Styles is very good at spotting a liar and a bad guy. Like, seriously, he was the one that called out on Matt controlling the Kanema, controlling Jackson. He was like, okay, he is evil, and he was right. So, something else that I really liked in this episode was Scott in the vet office, in the veterinary clinic, and he's giving a dog a shot and stuff, and he brings the dog to a little girl, and she's like, thank you, Dr. McCall. And he's like, I'm not a vet yet. So apparently Scott wants to be a doctor, a veterinary doctor. I think that's kind of what I expected Scott to want to do. I just don't know. I hope he's smart enough to pass all his tests to be a vet, because that would be so cute. But Deaton has this smile on his face when the little girl says that, and Scott says that back. And I'm just like, yeah, things are looking good for Scott, but not really. Like, things are all warm and fuzzy, but not really. Of course, we're given stuff like that before things go to shit, because things always go to shit on Teen Wolf. That's just Teen Wolf. Malia has some driving lessons, has a flashback of when she first turned into a were-coyote, and she nearly she nearly crashes into a school bus with Mr. Yukimura in a driving test. And he's like, dude, he basically like, he's like shocked when that happens. And we see her damage from her driving, and she's like ran over mannequins and cones and all sorts of stuff. Just like, it's horrible and it's hilarious. And poor Malia. Like, I do feel for her. She's still got to be going through a lot of stuff. I don't even know how I would deal with life if I were her. Lydia, okay, I am really amused with Lydia, because she's changed so much over the seasons. And one thing, though, that was really funny and cute to me was she's only taking one class this year, AP Biology. And she could have graduated the year before, but she just wants to be with the pack and stay in senior year, like have her senior year with the pack and stuff. And it's just so cool. Like, Parrish's like, do you have school? I have one class. I'm like, of course you do, Lydia. You're so smart. Now, let's talk about Liam, because things are getting interesting for him. On first day of school, goes into class, and there's some girl that he like has a stare down with, and he's like, I think you could tell he knows her, and something not good went down between them. And he gets forced into sitting into his chair right next to her, and she's put gum in his seat, and so now he has gum all over him, and he's just like, really? So after class, they're at their lockers, and he said, I guess you're still mad about what happened in 6th grade. She's like, I'm not mad. I'm vengeful. And I'm like, okay, I need to know what went down, because apparently something went down, and I need to know. Now, the stuff going down with Mason, too. Like, I'm still shocked Liam still hasn't told him he's a werewolf. Like, dude, Mason, he saw the Berserkers and everything. He even bought like a $200 book. Like, apparently Mason's got some money, because he spent $200 on a book about Berserkers. And wow. So, because Liam could have saved him $200 by telling him things. Like, really? Come on. Well, because Scott and Malia and Lydia don't want to like get down with what Styles is all about, going after Theo, he's like, I don't need any of your help. He takes Liam, because of course. Uncle Styles is going to make Liam help him do the dirty work. So they go and investigate Liam and follow him and all this stuff and find Liam. They find Theo on a bridge with a flower, dropping a flower on the bridge. And it's apparently Theo's sister died. She like got exposed to elements and she died from exposure on that bridge. And he was leaving a flower for her. Well, Theo shows up and he starts like basically they're like 10 they're not like 10 yards or something behind. They're not far from Theo. Like, of course Theo's gonna hear them sneaking up on them. I mean, and he's like, what's up, guys? And he's basically he's trying so hard to get Styles to like him, and Styles just like, no, dude. And I'm just like, this dude, I do not trust him. And yeah, I just don't. I have my reasons. My intuition, like Styles. But I don't know. I don't know what this dude's deal is. Because he like, I don't know if he was lying to Scott or not. I'm still trying to figure out if he was lying on this. What is true and what's not. If he actually is Theo or something bad happened or what happened or I don't know. But when he's telling his story of how he was bitten, it's very weird. Like he says about he was skateboarding in a neighbor's empty pool and all of a sudden he falls and the board doesn't come down. Then he sees an alpha like standing above him. It's at night and he's holding the board and then apparently he gets bit. And then he says that the alpha shortly before even his first full moon was already dead because he was killed by his twin betas. And then Scott and Styles looked at each other, Aiden and Ethan. They were thinking about them. And so it must have been them, I'm guessing. But I was also like, wait, no, they weren't betas. They were omegas. There's just a correction right there. But Theo's just trying so hard to convince Scott to let him into the pack. And no. Now, when Parrish is having his stakeout, we go and see that Tracy chick is mad cray cray. She goes and she's like in a trance. Like she's like sleepwalking but awake, like her eyes are open. And you see Parrish like in his car, and then Tracy goes and like walks. She stares at the car, and then she walks off. She wakes up in the mad scientist lab place thing. And there are those dread doctors, creeper dudes. She's just like, this is a dream, and nope, not a dream. Especially not a dream when they stuck this huge needle in her neck. And then it's especially not a dream when she goes and has flashes of things she did in Beacon Hills High School. Like you see, like she has left claw marks in a locker, one of the night terror things she's having in the school, because we did see those claw marks before earlier in the episode, and we see her with teeth, the werewolf teeth, and then we see her also on the skylight and killing the birds and stuff. And then after the injection happens, she roars and has yellow eyes and stuff, and I'm just like, wait, I do not like these people. I do not like these doctor dudes. And I especially don't want to see what's under those masks, because I have a feeling it's really creepy. I don't like them at all. I don't know what we're going to do about them. Now, finally, Mason gets to learn what Liam is. Liam, when he was helping Styles out, which was a very cool scene when he's helping him out to spy on Theo. There was also the whole scene where Scott shows up and he's like, did y'all find anything? And Styles was like, no. And Liam was like, I fell in a hole. Because, yeah, Liam fell in a hole. And he found a necklace that was that Tracy girl's, because I recognized it from her bedroom. That scene, though, that was the best scene in that episode, because Scott and Styles start talking about Styles' trust issues. And I understand, because they've been through a lot of mess, and he tries to see the good in everyone. So Styles has to be the bad cop and not trust everyone. Because Scott basically says, why can't you trust anyone? And Stiles yells, because you trust everyone. And then he punches the Jeep and hurts his hand, and Scott, like, puts his hands on him and his hand and takes away the pain. And Stiles has really changed as a character, his personality stuff, ever since he was possessed by the Nogitsune. It just really changed how he reacts to things, and he's still very funny, but he's not the same Stiles from season 1. He's just been through, he's a lot deeper, complex character than he used to be, which I really love. Dylan O'Brien's doing a great job as Stiles, as always. And that was basically the best scene in the episode, I'd have to say. But back to Mason and Liam. Liam skipped out on like a workout session with Mason, like a 2-hour workout session. Liam shows up at the school and Mason's pissed. And then Liam's like, I'm going to tell you some stuff. And then Mason's like, there's a wolf behind you. And Liam turns around and is like, that's a wolf. So they start running away from the wolf. And Liam's like, wait a minute, I'm a werewolf. So they're in the school and Liam stops, turns around, roars at the wolf. The wolf runs off, and he's like, turns to Mason like, I gotta tell you something. And Mason's like, you're a werewolf. Like, yeah, you didn't have to tell him then, Liam. He pretty much figured it out by now with that, what you just did. But I think this is what solidifies that Theo is not good. You can't trust him. He goes back to the wolf goes back to that bridge and turns into Theo. And I'm like, wait, Theo is a beta. And if he's a bitten werewolf, I didn't think that was really an ability that bitten werewolves could have. But I don't know what the rules are, if they're changing or whatever. But it just doesn't seem right that he can turn into a wolf. Also, what doesn't seem right is when we see him at his house and telling his parents about the yelling at his dad or whatever he is about the signature. And he's like, I told you to practice. And the mom, she said, she just doesn't say much. The dad says, I practiced like 100 times. And she's like, no, you didn't. And then Theo's like, well, there's one way to explain a messed up signature, a different signature, if you have a cast or can't write well. So he takes a freaking hammer and he just slams on the dude's hand. So apparently these people are not his parents. I don't know what happened to his parents. Maybe he ate them. Maybe he just killed them in a wolfy rage at some point. Or I really don't know. But I need to know what is up with this Theo dude, because I don't like him. I don't trust him. And he needs to go away. I don't know. I don't like him. I hope y'all enjoyed this recap and review. I had to do these longer because so much happened, and it was a 2-part season premiere. Just so much happened and so much fun. It's been a year since Teen Wolf, and I'm really excited. I hope y'all enjoyed this and continue to comment, like, and subscribe, and have a great day. Bye, guys.